One of the things when we go out and give our presentations at eco-villages is very clear to see how we can respond to things like climate change through the visible structures of the eco-buildings, the renewable energy systems, the organic and the permaculture farm systems. But a lot of the things that really will help us weather the changes coming down, build more resilient communities and build our local economy are invisible. Especially, we were talking earlier about ways to deal with conflict, because the easiest thing in an eco-village is putting the buildings, the renewable energy and the food systems together. The most difficult thing really is to work together and to be able to move forward as a community, because conflict comes up and we're not very good at dealing with it. Maybe we could talk about that.
Well, we've gone through this period of industrial civilization where we've moved from a village or tribal sort of background where people grew up in small settings where everybody knew everyone else in every family, and you knew the family lines and all that going back many generations. And we've moved into an era where the society is much more mobile. You have different kinds of education and different degrees of interest that people are pursuing, and quite often people are separate from each other for most of their lives, and they just have very few intimate relationships. And that in some ways is a handicap for us when we try to get back to living together in a close-knit community. And so we have to relearn what it takes to be tribal. And to some extent it means giving up a measure of your own opinion or your own personal desires to the process of letting the group decide, or to arrive at some sort of compromise, and you go forward for a while and then you try something out and then you maybe try something else. And these sorts of things take time to accustom yourself to. You tend to get conflict that builds up, and individuals and groups as a whole develop various dynamics that create issues, and those tend to boil over and explode. And all too often that can be a bigger problem, a more fatal problem for a small intentional community than is the issue of finance or construction or something like that. And actually this is all technology too. This is the methodology of conflict transformation, consensus, stakeholder analysis, transparency and governance, egalitarianism. All of that is appropriate technology. That there have been people who have been studying and working in those fields now for quite a long time, and those things are actually known. We can look at success in that field and apply that in other areas, and so the real gap is in knowledge, is in the ability of people to have access or to understand what's available to them. And so part of the effort of the Eco-Village Network and other groups is to have available outreach teams, materials, trainings, the ability to go and help any community that finds itself in need of that sort of technology.